Alright, today we're going to take a look at a couple of really simple entities that are used to create a couple of special effects in the game. Simple lesson. It should give you some time to work on any makeup work you might have as we go into the holiday week here. Let's take a look at them. So, we have our steam vent, we've got a smoke emitter, and then over here I'm using the steam vent, and it has an alternate setting which allows it to do like a thermal heat wave type thing, and I've got it kind of emitting from that gas pipe right there, or gas valve. You can see it pretty well from here. So if you've ever seen like a gas leak or like a thermal like heat, that's what this one does. Alright, let's take a look at the entities. They're pretty simple to use. So let's see what I've got here. Not that one. Let's look at this one. Okay, so the first one, we're using our entity tool here, and we're dropping in from here the Enb smokestack. So this one's pretty simple to use. It emits smoke up, and you can add a little bit of, let's get closer to it here. You can see it right here. And you can add wind to it. There's a lot of adjustments to it. So I'm just going to go down through the adjustments, and really with these type of entities, the best thing to do is just play with them and kind of, see what happens. They don't, it's hard to break them, and the settings are pretty self-explanatory. So first off, the name here. If you're going to turn this thing on and off, you would need to name it. If we were going to have like an output somewhere on the map, maybe you need to shut off a valve to stop the smoke or something like that, we would need to name it. The initial state defaults to off, so you want to turn it on if you want the smoke to start at the beginning of the game. The spread at the base. So this is how wide of an area this smoke is going to emit from. And so you can see I've got the spread at base set to 5. So if we take this and put it to like 20, and I recompile the map, you should see a difference in how that little kind of sewer emitter is going for me there. So let's reload this map. There we go. Okay, so now you can see the little puffs of smoke are coming out from a wider area. They're pretty much coming out from the entire diameter of that little sewer drain right there. Doesn't look too bad, to be honest with you. Okay, so that's spread at base. Spread speed. So as these particles come up, they begin to spread apart. So what I did is I set it to 0. I just wanted them to go straight up. If you add a number, or you play with this number here, the spread speed, as they come up, they're going to spread apart from each other and start drifting in different directions. The speed, this is how fast they rise. So you could see in mine, their little smoke clouds here, they're going pretty slow. So speed is how fast they rise once they are created. Particle start size. This is how big the particle is when it's initially created. So when it spawns into the world, how big is it? End size is as it floats up through space, it's going to grow. Just like smoke you've seen in the world, as it moves, it kind of dissipates and grows and kind of disappears and fades, right? So that's why we have a particle start size and end size. So what this is going to do is start at one size, and this is how big it's going to get before it's done and deleted out of the world. The emission rate is how many little puffs of smoke it's going to make per second. The length of the smoke trail. So this is how high they're going to travel. So 50 units mean, they're traveling up to about right here. I think the default's 180, which is, about triple that height. So this is how far the smoke is going to travel. Now, it says over here that the lifetime is derived from this, because if these have to travel, 20 feet, and their speed is 10, the little puffs of smoke will stay alive that entire time, so they won't completely dissipate till they've reached the end of their smoke trail here. So so kind of this determines how high they go. This is how fast they get there, and this is how big they're going to be once they get to the top. So those three things together kind of determine what it's going to look like at the top. Wind speed and angle. If you wanted to put some wind in here so that the smoke was blowing off to the side, you would play with these numbers. Twist. The particles will twist as they float upwards. I usually turn it off, but you can play around with it and see if you like it. Same thing with roll. Roll is just the twist is sort of an upward z-axis, and then roll is going to be like on the x or y-axis. Same thing, if you want these particles to kind of tumble as they go up, you would play with these two numbers. The color is the color of the smoke that's going to come out. Translucency is how see-through it is. So I think the default is 255, and the lower the number, the more see-through it's going to be. There's no flags to set on this. It's really simple. Turn it on, play around with the numbers to find what you like, and that's it. It's very simple. Alright, let's look at this other one. So this one here is called Enb Steam. So same thing, particle effect or entity tool. Come over here, type in Enb Steam. It gives you this thing, the little cone. So this is directional. So if you look at it and you rotate it, it has a little line that comes out here. So this can be aimed in different directions. So this entity is used for making, like, if you needed steam coming out of a pipe, or it's called Enb Steam. So it's for like a sideways shooting jet of particles. Not much to it. Name, same thing, initial state, we need to turn it on. It defaults to off, so you want to turn it on. The particle type, normal, gives you the little smoke. Heat wave gives you the little distorted heat wave vision thing that I had on the other side here. The spread speed is the same. As the particles come out, how fast are they going to spread apart? So let's play around with that a little bit. Alright, so there's a steam vent, and there's a smokestack. And then if we come over here, here's a steam vent in heat mode or thermal. Creates kind of just a visual distortion. Alright, moving down. Speed. This is how fast the particles emit, how fast they're going as they're coming out here. Same thing, particle start size, end size. These are exactly the same as the other ones. So they start at one size, and this is how big they are when they reach the end of their life. The emission rate is how many of these particles are going to be emitted per second. Color allows you to change the color. But in order for that to work, you have to go to flags and check the box that says emissive. Okay, so if you're going to play with the color, make sure you go to flags and set the emissive checkbox. Next one down, length of steam jet. This is the same as on the smokestack, how far it's going to shoot out. So this will help determine its life. The further it shoots out, it's going to take the length, the speed, the spread, and then the end size, and that'll determine what it looks like at the end of its life out here. Translucency is the same as the other one, how transparent it is, and then how fast do the particles spin. Self-explanatory. This is the rate at which they're tumbling. You know, just play around with it and kind of see what makes you happy there. And we can kind of play around with these settings. So the best thing to do with these is to just play around with the numbers and see what happens when you do it. There's I can't really give you a set of numbers that are going to be like the numbers that work best for everybody. So so here's pink smoke. You can barely see it there, but there's the pink steam shooting out. I changed the color on it. There's my smokestack, and here's my heat wave. Alright, so your assignment today is to make a steam jetting pipe, like I have. It could be a vent or a pipe or something. So I want a demonstration video, or you're going to do pictures of a smokestack, a steam vent, and then the heat, like this one right here. Now remember, the difference between this one and this one is one drop down. So let's go over to this guy. Same entity. The only difference is the particle type, instead of being normal, is a heat wave. And that, all the other settings are similar, except obviously there's no color to the heat wave. But this creates kind of that distorted, like, heat vision, like if you ever look above like a fire or a barbecue. But also like leaking gas will create that same visual anomaly. So that's why I put this in front of a little gas pipe, little gas door right here. So your assignment today is to replicate this setup here. I don't care what props or decals you use, but I want to see a smokestack emitting some steam from a ground-based object. I want to see a steam vent shooting some steam out of a pipe or a vent or something. And then I also want a heat wave element coming off of something. I don't really care what it is, but I want to see the 3 samples. I don't really care about the colors on them. You can play around with color and whatnot, whatever makes you happy. Okay, simple assignment today.